Enter stage 3 tax cuts. We're not going to see any change in this budget, but I do feel like Labor is still kind of charting this path towards winding them back at some stage during this term. You see, the cost of them apparently has got more expensive. Are there any circumstances in which you would see that it would be inappropriate to go ahead with those stage 3 tax cuts, or are you committed to these come hell or high water?
Well, we're absolutely committed to them. The point about the stage 3 tax cuts, the starting point is both sides of politics went to the election with that as a commitment, and an ironclad commitment. From Labor, no footnotes, no asterisks. It was, as they said, an ironclad commitment. Now, we know they're looking for an excuse to walk away from. Any excuse will do. It turns out, fortuitously, that the timing looks very, very good at the moment, which is we need to have a pro-growth agenda as we move on from these inflationary pressures. The expectation is that the inflationary pressures will reduce over the coming years, less than we would have liked, but nonetheless. Yep. And so then the key is growth. And, telling Australians that they can be confident, without all these reservations we're seeing right now from Labor, that they can keep 70 cents in the dollar despite inflation, despite bracket creep, which drives up the average tax rate for Australians. Despite all those things, we're going to take that away and give them 70 cents in the dollar. It's theirs so they can build their careers, take risks, invest, all of those things we need for growth. That is so important, and that message should be coming from the government with conviction. Okay. And that will underpin our ability to come through with strong growth, not the forecasts we've seen today or projections we've seen today from Labor, which says they're actually going to slow the growth of the economy very, very sharply. This is how you deal with it, Laura, and having some passion and conviction behind it from Labor will help people to see that despite some of the challenges we're facing, investment, building careers, taking risks, all makes sense. And, it's the private sector and activity in the private sector that will get us through these challenges. And Labor needs to enable that and facilitate that. Whilst Jim Chalmers is saying he doesn't like these stage 3 tax cuts, and it's very clear he doesn't like them. I mean, there's no ambiguity about that. He said that before the election, and he's been echoing that more recently. Whilst that remains, we're not going to take advantage of them, and we will see slower growth.
Okay, look forward to analysing or seeing your reaction to this first budget on Wednesday. Before I let you go, you mentioned the private sector. The private sector must be scratching their head at the moment thinking, ooh, should we or shouldn't we sponsor sporting teams around the country? This seems like a new trend. What's your take on it?
Oh, let sport be sport. I mean, I love my sport. I really do. I participate still. I was playing Golden Oldies rugby on the weekend. I mean, it's something Australians love. Country towns like where I live, it's almost fanatical, the focus on sport. Let sport be sport. Let's keep politics out of it as much as we possibly can, and let's enjoy sport for what it is. That is a great Australian tradition. Let's keep it that way.
Angus Taylor, we'll speak to you soon. Thanks so much.